$5 million to Tanzania with this business, and then we are hiring 50 employees and more in Tanzania, and also we are having many business partners in Tanzania. Tanzania is similar with Japan, like people is nice and kind, food is good. Tanzaniaへようこそ.
We are making sanitary pad in Tanzania, especially in Kibaha, Pwani region. Start to doing this business with 100 million. And after joining TIC, everything is very easy. And I was just regret why I didn't use it from the beginning. So I really advise for fellow Japanese that they have to pass TIC first before investing by themselves. I think it's a very good opportunity to invest here in Tanzania. Welcome, invest in Tanzania.
Now we start in Dodoma. Actually, we are agro-processing company, so we have a tax exemption of import duty. In this moment, we are hiring. We have employees, about 20 person are working here. This is a very good country for doing agriculture project.
Tanzania is resource rich. With an area of 945,000 square kilometers, it is home to the highest mountain in Africa, world-famous tourist attractions, vast arable land, an array of minerals and natural gas, several large lakes, and a 1,424-kilometer coastline with ports that serve 8 landlocked countries.
However, its over 61 million people are the country's biggest asset.
In the next 70 years, Tanzania is projected to be the 10th most populous country in the world, positioning it to become an economic powerhouse. With this potential, it is estimated that the country's economy will attract around $3 billion in annual investments by 2030, almost 10 times what it does today. Tanzania, under the able leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, is actively working to turn the nation into a modern, fast-growing, industrialized middle-income economy with a highly skilled people. There are areas that Tanzania is looking to form cooperation in. First, manufacturing, tourism, commercial buildings, logistics, agriculture, and large-scale agribusiness. These are Tanzania's most profitable and fast-growing sectors. We have the best economic policies with the lowest level of inflation and debt in our region. We have the highest investment in infrastructure, ranging from high-speed railways, highways, rural roads, modernization of ocean ports, and power generation. This makes the cost of production the lowest in the region. Finally, we offer the most progressive incentive schemes in Africa. The more you invest, the more opportunity you have to select the incentives you need. The Tanzania Investment Center is recognized as the premier investment promotion agency on the continent. TIC is dedicated to facilitating investors by offering unparalleled support and unique opportunities in a thriving economic environment. With TIC, investors gain access to extensive services that simplify the investment process, from obtaining necessary permits, approvals and certifications to finding the ideal local partners. TIC makes investing in Tanzania seamless and rewarding. The center welcomes all investors to be part of the country's growth story. We have launched the Tanzania Electronic Investment Window, which allows investors to register their business from anywhere in the world. Investors can now channel their requests through the Premium Service Lounge to get fast-tracking service where a certificate of incentives can be issued within 2 hours. Tanzania is the safest and best investment destination in Africa. Invest now. The country is ready. We are ready. Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan welcomes you to be part of the next growth chapter. Invest in Tanzania, the land of opportunities.
All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please stand by. The guest of honor will be walking into the room shortly. and I'll request that we stand and put our hands together. So please stand by, and hope you enjoy the video on the enormous business opportunities and investments in Tanzania. At the moment, let us please not play any more videos. Let's be on standby. Namba tusubiri kidogo, tusipige videos tena sasa hivi, tukiwa tumsubiri mgeni rasmi awasili. Right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I please request that we rise and in welcoming our guest of honors to the high table. Let's put our hands together as we welcome our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, karibuni kwenye kazi. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Habari za asubuhi. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. I'm learning. Honorable Minister, please pick that up. Welcome to the Tanzania-Japan Quality Infrastructure Dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to acknowledge the honorable ministers in the room. And let's begin with the Honorable Innocent Bashungwa, our Minister for Works. Please put your hands together to our guest of honor. The Deputy Minister for Ministry of Transport, the Honorable David Mwakiposa Kihanzile. Ladies and gentlemen. The Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Honorable Kosato Chumi. We're truly honored to have in our presence the Deputy Minister for International Projects, MLIT Japan, Honorable Ogasawara Kenichi. And representing both of our countries, to begin with, the Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan, Excellency Mr. Baraka Luvanda. And the Honorable Mr. Misawa Yasushi, who's the Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge his presence in the room. And most importantly, as we are here to do business, please acknowledge the President of JAIDA, Mr. Miyamoto Yoichi. Please, ladies and gentlemen. So honorable ministers, deputy ministers, your excellencies, high commissioners and ambassadors, heads of government institutions both in the mainland Tanzania and Zanzibar, private sector leaders, businessmen and women of Tanzania and Japan, and may I please acknowledge Mr. Samir Gupta, the MD of Kamal Group. If you're in the room, please be acknowledged. Further introductions will be done. We will begin our program with official speeches from our leaders at the high table. We will go to a soft launch of land for Japan investors at Kamal Industries, and that's why I acknowledge Mr. Samir. We will have a photo session and a gift-giving session of what we call omiyage, and then we'll have keynote presentations from Japan, contributions through quality infrastructure. Please take note of the program. Thereafter, we will follow with presentations from Tanzania. And within Tanzania, if you have the program, we have a QR code on each one of the programs. It will allow you to not only listen to the presentations, but also follow up a little bit later online. Further to the program, we will have presentations from JAIDA companies. And then we'll move to another room where we'll have closing remarks and lunch and networking for ministers and institutions and companies. That is the program, and let us begin right away by welcoming His Excellency Mr. Baraka Luvanda, Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan. Please, sir, join me at the podium to my right, to your left, and let's put our hands together for the first opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony Taji, for that kind introduction. Honorable Minister Innocent Bashungwa, Minister for Works, Honorable Ogasawara Kenichi-san, Deputy Minister of Lands, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism of Japan, in charge of international projects. Honorable Kosato Chumi, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable David Mwakiposa Kienzire, Deputy Minister of Transport, my friend Mr. Miyamoto Yoichi-san, President of Japan Africa Infrastructure Association. In the interest of time, I would want to say all protocols observed, but let me say, Minasama, Ohayo gozaimasu, habari za asubuhi, a very good morning to all. It is truly an honor and a matter of privilege for me to have been given the first opportunity to speak before this grand assembly of personalities, distinguished participants, experts, and colleagues, ambassadors, CEOs, and senior officials from both public and private entities. I take this role of welcoming each and everyone to here present as my Japanese friends I have accompanied all the way from Tokyo. I wish to say, Karibuni sana, Dar es Salaam, the haven of peace. Since many other participants have also traveled all the way from the capital seat of Dodoma and other destinations, it is quite appropriate for me to welcome you to Dar es Salaam as well. I hope your brief stay will be worthwhile and memorable. It is also my duty to extend a warm welcome to all of you to this second Tanzania-Japan Quality Infrastructure Dialogue. The first one took place in 2021, online because of the unprecedented circumstances of COVID-19 pandemic. Distinguished delegates, it's evident that our Japanese friends participating in this dialogue today have one wondrous task, which is to bring closer to Tanzania the experience, the expertise, the knowledge, the ideas, and especially the resources that they have for developing the quality infrastructure of the Japanese standard and caliber that I know because I live and work there. And looking at the composition of the gathering in this room, it gives everyone much confidence of the outcome of this forum. I should like to point out that Japan and Tanzania are only separated by oceans, but we share a rich history of cooperation rooted in mutual respect, trust, and shared values. Japan has been a long trusted partner in our efforts to build resilient, modern, and durable infrastructure, which is fundamental to our socio-economic growth. This dialogue is a clear testament of our shared commitment to quality, sustainability, innovation in infrastructure development, which is crucial for Tanzania's development goals. I should also point out that the choice of Dar es Salaam to host this event is fitting, as it gives our Japanese friends a clear view of critical infrastructure challenges facing our ever-growing cities, such as the city of Dar es Salaam. And this is also true in the wider context of African continent, with the African continent free trade area being operational now, massive opportunity for Africa trade and investment landscape is clear, evident. Japan's involvement to supporting cross-border infrastructure will be essential in realizing the full potential of the continental treaty. In closing, I should like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of all stakeholders involved in making this dialogue possible. I sincerely thank our two governments, the Japanese private sector and Tanzanian agencies and institutions for their dedication to and contribution to this process. The record number of over 60 Japanese stakeholders and over 100 on the Tanzanian side highlights the significant importance of this dialogue, and I should like to urge all of you to engage actively, exchange ideas, share experiences, and forge partnership that will lead to tangible outcomes for mutual benefit of our two countries. And last but not least, I would like to sincerely thank the Coordination Committee for having worked round the clock to put up all the necessary logistics for this conference. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Baraka Luvanda. It's my pleasure now to welcome to the podium to speak the Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania. Please put your hands together for His Excellency, Mr. Meisawa Yasushi.
Mheshimiwa Innocent Bashungwa, Waziri wa Uzenji, Mheshimiwa David Mwakiposa Kihenzire, Naibu Waziri wa Uchukuzi, Mheshimiwa Kosato Chumi, Naibu Waziri wa Mambo ya na Nje na Ushirikiano wa Afrika Mashariki, Mheshimiwa Balozi Baraka Luvanda, Balozi wa Tanzania nchini Japani, Mheshimiwa Nichi Ogasawara, Naibu Waziri wa Mradi wa Kimataifa, Mheshimiwa Yoichi Miyamoto, Rais wa JAIDA, viongozi wote kutoka serikali na sekta binafsi, wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana, habari za asubuhi. Nimefurahia sana kupata fursa ya kuzungumza nanyi leo katika hafla ya majadiliano ya ubora wa miundombinu. Tangu nilipowasili Tanzania, nimejiwekea utaratibu wa kutoa hotuba kwa Kiswahili kwenye mikutano inayohudhuriwa na Watanzania wengi. Hata hivyo, kuna washiriki wengi wa Kijapani leo na hakuna tafsiri ya wakati mmoja. Kwa hivyo, tafadhali niruhusu nizungumze kwa Kiingereza kuanzia sasa. Asante sana. I am extremely pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you today on the occasion of the Quality Infrastructure Dialogue. This year marks the 70th anniversary of Japan's ODA in 1954. However, Japan was still a recipient country of foreign aid even after 1962, when I was born. The economic situation and infrastructure in Japan at that time, 1960, was not so different from that of Tanzania today. In order to achieve economic growth, Japan received a lot of loans from the World Bank, and we had built many infrastructures such as power plants, steelworks, highways, high-speed railways, and other facilities which Japan believed the most important for our industrialization and economic development. While Japan was continuing receiving a lot of loans from the World Bank, Japan began providing ODA to Asia. Unlike Western countries, which have implemented aid based on the concept of helping the poor countries, Japan has focused on building infrastructure facilities, which are the most important for the industrializations of recipient countries, which could also contribute to development of Japanese economy itself. In the 1980s, Japan began to provide more active support to Africa. Since Japan assisted in the construction of the Selanda Bridge through JICA in the 1980s. We have been cooperating with Tanzania for over 40 years in the construction of various infrastructure facilities, including roads, bridges, flyovers, high voltage power line facilities, substations, water facilities, irrigation facilities, and fish market, etc. A signing ceremony for the Dodoma Ring Road project is also scheduled to take place soon. Furthermore, Japan has also been actively cooperating in the formulation of Tanzania's long-term development plans, such as Dar es Salaam Urban Transport Master Plan and the Natural Gas Utilization Master Plan. I believe Japan is probably the country that has been working together with Tanzania for infrastructures for the longest period. Nowadays, construction companies from emerging countries such as China, Turkey, Egypt are actively working on the infrastructure construction in Tanzania. I believe that is very good and beneficial for both the Tanzania and also these countries. However, Japan is still a unique country which has experience of growing from a recipient country to a donor country, has been deeply involved in the economic development of all Asian countries, and many years of experience in supporting Tanzania. Japan also has a strong will to continue to cooperate with Tanzania while respecting the ownership of Tanzania. Furthermore, Japanese private companies, including construction companies, have a lot of experience in contributing to human resource development through the direct involvement in the development of Asian countries, and it is expected that they will proactively engage in technology transfer and capacity development in Tanzania as well. And Japanese companies maintain an advantage in the construction of facilities that require high durability and are expected to utilize advanced technology. I hope that through today's meeting and dialogue, relevant parties from the public and private sector of Japan and Tanzania will come to a common understanding of the significance of cooperation in the field of infrastructure construction, and will also clarify in what specific areas and in what form cooperations should be advanced. Ladies and gentlemen, exchanges between Japan and Tanzania have been getting more active this year. In January of this year, Mr. Kokuba, the Minister of State for Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism from Japan, visited Tanzania and met with Minister Bashungbo. And in May, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Tsuji, visited Tanzania. Also in May, Tanzania Investment Center, Mr. Terry, visited Japan and called on Japanese companies to invest in Tanzania. In August, the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Shumi, visited Japan to attend the Tokyo International Conference on African Development Ministerial meeting and had a meaningful exchange on both political and economic fronts. Next year looks set to be a very good opportunity to further strengthen business exchanges between Japan and Tanzania. In January of next year, a public-private business mission with many Japanese companies is scheduled to visit Tanzania. And from April to October of next year, the World Expo will be held in Osaka, Japan, with May 25th designated as Tanzanian Day. And it is expected that political leaders and business people from Tanzania will visit to Osaka. In addition, the 9th TICAD Summit is scheduled to be held in Yokohama in August. Today's dialogue is one in a series of such exchanges between Japan and Tanzania. I would like to conclude my remarks by expressing my sincere hope that today's dialogue will be a fruitful one, which lead to the further strengthening the partnership between Japan and Tanzania. Asante sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Let's put our hands together again for His Excellency, Mr. Misawa Yasushi. A fantastic look at the history and the present moment in our fantastic relationships. It's my great pleasure now to welcome the President of JIDA, Mr. Miyamoto Yoichi. Then let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes to the podium.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all of one. I'm Miyamoto Yoichi, President of Japan-Africa Infrastructure Development Association, otherwise known as JIDA. On behalf of JIDA, I would like to say a few words. Firstly, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all participants from both governments and private companies, including the period before JIDA's establishment. We have held the Quality Infrastructure Conference twice in Tanzania. Even in 2021, when travel was restricted due to COVID-19, we conducted the Japan-Tanzania Quality Infrastructure Dialogue online. And in January of this year, we held bilateral meetings with the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Communications and Transport. I believe that the reason we have been able to establish a dialogue with your esteemed country over a long period is not only due to the efforts of government officials from both countries, but also because of the development of collaborative relationship for both public and private sectors in the field of infrastructure. I am very pleased that JIDA has been able to contribute to this development. As soon as you may already know, JIDA was established with the aim of sharing Japan's technology and experience in high-quality infrastructure with Africa, fostering mutual trust and promoting exchanges of information. Currently, JIDA comprises approximately 194 companies from various fields, including construction, trading, finance, consulting, engineering, manufacturing, and transportation. Shimizu Corporation, where I serve as chairman, is one of these companies. In addition to holding public-private infrastructure conference with 14 countries, we have conducted bilateral meetings with heads of state and ministers responsible for infrastructure. Through these meetings, we have directly heard about the challenges, future visions, and expectations or requests for Japan from these countries, engaging in frank exchange of opinions. For countries where we have held an initial public-private infrastructure conference, we have established forums like today's Quality Infrastructure Dialogue to deepen discussion further. there are many landlocked and small countries in Africa, and their economies are often influenced by the development and the connectivity of neighboring countries' infrastructure. Tanzania, in particular, border many landlocked nations, and the port of Dar es Salaam serves and a crucial gateway supporting trade throughout the region. Your country's national development and economic growth, which includes urban development in Dodoma and is supported by high-quality infrastructure, contribute to the growth of the entire East African region. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Miyamoto Yoichi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, it's now my great pleasure to welcome the Honorable Ogasawara Kenichi, Deputy Minister for International Projects, Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, Japan. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Karibu-san.
Thank you. Good morning. Habari za asubuhi. Is that correct? Ohayo gozaimasu. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today on behalf of the Emirate Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, Japanese government, on this occasion of second Tanzania-Japan Quality Infrastructure Dialogue. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Innocent Bashungwa, Minister of Works, Honorable Kosato Chumi, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, and Honorable David Muakipo Kisanji, is that correct? Deputy Minister of Ministry of Transport, His Excellency Baraka Rubanda, Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan, and everyone in the relevant ministries and institutions, including Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, as well as the Tanzania Investment Center, for their effort to hold this dialogue here in Dar es Salaam today. The infrastructure, the theme of this dialogue is foundation of economic prosperity for countries and regions. The quality infrastructure that Japan provides focuses not only on the quantitative development for demand, but also on the quality of growth and people. Japan has practiced this concept by demonstrating technology and expertise transfer to Africa and around the world. By expanding these activities, we have promoted cooperation in the development of infrastructure in Tanzania. In 2016, at the occasion of TICAD 6, the Emirate established Japan-Africa Infrastructure Development Association, we call it JIDA, which is comprised of 194 Japanese infrastructure-related companies and organizations. JIDA has been engaged in promoting awareness and understanding toward quality infrastructure and facilitating the business activities in Africa for many years. As part of JIDA's activities with Tanzania, we held Quality Infrastructure Conference in 2016 and 2019, and as well as Quality Infrastructure Dialogue in 2021. It was held online due to the COVID-19. After COVID-19 subsided, travel between our two countries became more active in 2024. Our State Minister Kokuba paid a courtesy visit to Tanzania, followed by TIC Executive Director Mr. Terry's visit to Japan, and Honorable Kosato David Chumit, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, visit to Japan. I am aware that the relation between our two countries in the infrastructure field are becoming stronger day by day. I am grateful that we were able to have such a large number of attendees in this rising momentum, and I would like to once again express my gratitude to everyone in attendance. In today's dialogue, I hope that both the private and public sectors of each country will share the expertise in the infrastructure field, and the conversation between experts, all of whom are right now in this room, is certain to raise a bilateral relation to a new and high and place business contacts on dependable and dynamic, mutually advantageous basis. Japan's private enterprises, especially participants in this dialogue, have great expectation for Tanzania's future, and they are eager to get more engaged in Tanzania. I hope high-quality infrastructure with Japan's expertise would be very useful contribution to the prosperity of both countries. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Asante sana. ありがとうございます。
Thank you, Your Honor, and welcome to Tanzania, and let's do business together. Guest of honor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Honorable Kosato Chumi. Please put your hands together as I welcome him to the podium.
Honorable Minister Innocent Bashungwa, Minister for Works, Honorable Kenichi, Deputy Minister for Lands, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism of Japan, Honorable David Kienzile, Deputy Minister for Transport, Your Excellency Baraka Luvanda, Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan, Your Excellency Misawa, Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania, Permanent Secretaries, Deputy Permanent Secretaries here present, Mr. Miyamoto, President of JAIDA, distinguished senior officials from both delegations, ladies and gentlemen, Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, good morning. It is truly a great honor and a privilege for me to speak to you this morning at the opening of the second Japan-Tanzania Quality Infrastructure Dialogue. Honorable Minister Kenichi, I missed the opportunity to welcome you personally at the airport yesterday, as I had promised when we met in Tokyo in August this year alongside TICAD 9. I'm glad that my colleague, Honorable Londo, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, was able to do so. I therefore take this opportunity to welcome you and your entire delegation to Tanzania, and especially to the city of Dar es Salaam. I also want to welcome our dear friend Miyamoto, President of Japan Africa Infrastructure Development Association, Jaida, I know you have traveled a long way and must having a trouble of jet lag and time difference, but I hope you will find time to enjoy the beauty, warmth, and hospitality of Tanzania. Tanzania, I'm sure, is like your second home, away from home. As we say in Swahili, karibu sana. Please allow me to commend for the excellent job well done by the organizers and every one of you who have made this dialogue possible. We thank you very much. Distinguished delegates, as you are aware, for Tanzania, it is always a pleasure for us to meet with our partner friend, Japan, to discuss matters of mutual interest. Tanzania appreciates the cordial relations that exist between our two countries and the people over the past 6 decades. Throughout the decades, we have observed significant growth and transformation in our bilateral relations and cooperations across sectors. We therefore commend the government of Japan for its commitment in fostering bilateral relations and cooperation to a greater height. As we look to the future, let us remember an African proverb that speaks directly to the heart of our cooperation. A single bracelet does not jingle. It reminds us that the sound of success, the rhythm of progress, comes only when we work together. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is also fulfilling for me that the idea we discussed with the Honorable Kokuba, State Minister for Lands, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism in Tokyo, about this dialogue have now been realized. As is common knowledge, ideas do not come out fully formed. They always come clear as you work on them. Therefore, this dialogue provides concrete solutions to the infrastructure challenges we face in Tanzania, applying it as it will be case our Japanese friends' skills, experience, and expertise. The government of the United Republic of Tanzania value very much quality infrastructure, and it is through this interaction today that we will be able to share and exchange knowledge, skills, and experience from both sides. Tanzania is eager to reap your vast experience, which has been tested elsewhere, to help us transform our infrastructure in a variety of sectors. We are fully aware of what it means when you say quality infrastructure, and that is what we want here in Tanzania. In this regard, we are confident that today we'll have an opportunity again to discuss more and agree on a number of issues that will usher in another milestone of flourishing level of cooperation. Let this gathering today serve as a critical stepping stone towards bringing a brighter and more prosperous future for Tanzania and Japan. We reaffirm our commitment to cooperation, dialogue, and friendship. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, I wish all fruitful discussions and successful deliberations throughout the dialogue. May our joint efforts bring about strong bond and greater collaboration between our two countries and peoples. I thank you for your kind attention. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister Kosato Chumi. It's now my great pleasure, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the Honorable David Mwakiposa Kihenzile, the Deputy Minister of Transport, who also has the honor of welcoming the guest of honor to speak. Please put your hands together as he approaches the podium.
Honorable Mr. Innocent Bashungwa, Minister of Works, Honorable Kosato Chumi, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Honorable Ogasawara Kenichi, Deputy Minister for International Project Africa, Deputy Permanent Secretaries and Deputy Permanent Secretaries present here. Oh, so I was short. Honorable Mr. Baraka Vanda, Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan. Mr. Misawa Yasun, Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania. Mr. Miyamoto Yoichi, President of JAIDA. Head of institutions and dignitaries from Tanzania, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply honored to be part of this prestigious ministerial visit and would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest from Japan, Karibuni sana, Tanzania. I would like to express my sincere, heartfelt gratitude to Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, Vice President of Tanzania, Dr. Kassim Majaliwa, Prime Minister, Dr. Doto Mashaka Biteko, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, and my Minister, Professor Makambarawa, Minister of Transport. I extend my sincere appreciation to Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for exemplary leadership and steadfast support of the transport and infrastructure sector in Tanzania. And on behalf of the ministry and my minister, we deeply appreciate her governance and extend our congratulations for her continued support of all the time. On my behalf, I would also like to convey our sincere thanks to the government of Japan for the unwavering support, assistance in our national development. Tanzania greatly values Japan's contribution and commitments to supporting our country both socially and economically. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the United Republic of Tanzania and Japan have maintained a long-standing history of diplomatic relations marked by economic cooperation and steadfast support from Japan. We are committed to ensuring that this relationship remains enduring and mutually beneficial for both nations. The development of any country is fundamentally reliant on the transport sector, as it serves a vital link to both local and international trade. In this regard, Tanzania plays a crucial role as an international gateway for several of its landlocked countries, including Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, and Malawi. Through our extensive transport network, these countries gain access to the global market. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Tanzania is modernizing the port of Dar es Salaam through the Dar es Salaam Maritime Gateway project. This includes the improvement of berths 1 to 7, which are currently operational, as it is, as well as deepening and widening the entrance channel and turning basin. These enhancements are designed to accommodate post-Panamax vessels, allowing greater access to the port of Dar es Salaam and significantly increasing its annual cargo handling capacity. All ports projects include Dar es Salaam, costs 5.1 trillion Tanzanian shillings. Also, the government to construct airports that includes, but not limited to, Mwanza, Msalato, Musoma, Rukwa, Mwanza, Mtwara, Shinyanga, Tabora, Lindi, Kigoma, Katavi, Arusha, Kilimanjaro, Tanga, to mention few. Currently, the government constructs and rehabilitates marine vessels Lake Tanganyika, Nyasa, and Victoria, and the project also cost more than 1.5 Tanzania shillings, 1.5 trillions. I would also like to highlight several investment opportunities in our port infrastructure project, includes the development of an oil jet at Tanga Port, the Mtwara Corridor, Mbamba Bay, Mwanza, Bukoba, and the development of dry port in Dodoma, Kigoma, Mwanza, Dar es Salaam, and Pwani. All the projects mentioned cost about 40 trillion Tanzania shillings, which is equivalent to 15 billion USD. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania is currently constructing electrified standard gauge rail SGR, of which, with phase 1 spanning from Dar es Salaam to Mwanza, it is almost 1,219 kilometers. The section from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma is already in the operation stage, while the remaining section from Dodoma to Mwanza is under construction. Additionally, phase 2 covering Tabora to Kigoma, that is almost 506 kilometers, is in the construction phase. Looking ahead, the future project expected to be developed through public-private partnership includes Mtwara Mbamba Bay, which is almost 1,000 kilometers, and the Tanga Arusha Musoma, which is almost 1,000 again kilometer rail line. In addition to this SGR project, we are also focusing on urban rail transport such as Dar es Salaam commuter service, 160 kilometer, and Dodoma commuter service, 100 kilometer. This completion of this project will yield substantial economic benefit for Tanzania. We warmly welcome collaboration in the following areas: the construction of railway infrastructure, the provision of rail stock, the operation and maintenance of rail services, expertise in workshop and deep management, as well as training and capacity building. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all of you for dedicating your valuable time to this dialogue on the quality infrastructure network in Tanzania. We are fully committed to nurturing our relationship and are eager to explore the opportunities in present for mutual benefit. I thank you all for your attention. Now, after my brief remark, may you allow me to welcome Honorable Innocent Bashungwa for his speech. Thank you.
Honorable Ogasawala Kenichi, Deputy Minister for International Projects, Minister of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism from Japan. Honorable Kosato Chumi, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation in Tanzania. Honorable David Kenzile, Deputy Minister for Transport from Tanzania. Dr. Charles Msonde, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works in Tanzania. Mr. Miyamoto Yoichi, the President of JIDA. Your Excellency Baraka Ruvanda, Ambassador of Tanzania to Japan. Your Excellency Yashushi Misawa, Ambassador of Japan to Tanzania, distinguished business delegates from Japan and Tanzania, distinguished government officials from Japan and Tanzania, members of the press, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Ohayo gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimashita. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be here with you this morning. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of this forum for inviting me to preside over the official opening ceremony just now. On behalf of the government of Tanzania, I'm honored to host this event. I would like to express my gratitude to the Japan-Africa Infrastructure Development Association, JIDA, the Embassy of Tanzania in Tokyo, the Embassy of Japan in Tanzania, the Tanzania Investment Center, the Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, the Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Industry, and Agriculture, and other stakeholders for organizing this event and for providing excellent hospitality to our Japanese delegation. I congratulate you all on the excellent organization of this forum. But I would also like to thank my colleagues, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Honorable Chumi, as well as Honorable David Kenzile, Deputy Minister for Transport, for their wonderful remarks and for enlightening our distinguished delegation from Japan about the good work we do together bilaterally in the ministries which they represent. Thank you very much, Deputy Ministers. I would like to extend a special welcome to our Japanese guests, especially those visiting Tanzania for the first time. I hope to see you more in the future, perhaps on private visits, as Tanzania has many different investment opportunities and spectacular tourism attractions for you to explore. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania and Japan have maintained a historical relationship since our independence in 1961. Tanzania participated in the Olympics Games for the first time in Tokyo in October 1964. We also took part in the World Expo for the first time in Osaka in 1970. Throughout our history of friendship, there have been numerous important visits between our two nations. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania appreciates being one of the largest recipients of Japanese assistance in sub-Saharan Africa. Japan extended its first concessional credit in 1966 with the goals and priorities set for bilateral cooperation to support Tanzania's development efforts. The government of Japan has been an active development partner of Tanzania, providing financial support for the development and improvement of our infrastructure in agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and so on. Since the 1980s, Japan has made remarkable contributions to infrastructure development in Tanzania, providing a total of Tanzanian shillings 1.25 trillion shillings for the upgrading and rehabilitation of roads and bridges. Thank you very much, our brothers and sisters from Japan, for always being there with us from when we got independence in 1961 until today. You have been a very dear partner to our country. On behalf of the government of Tanzania, I would like to thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Tanzania is pleased to report that all projects financed by Japan through our bilateral assistance programs have contributed to improving the quality of life of our citizens. Many Tanzanians remember that a significant portion of the roads in Dar es Salaam, where we are, was paved with the assistance of Japan, and the names of Japanese contractors, such as Kajima, Konoike, remain in the memories of Tanzania. And the quality of their work was excellent. Honorable Deputy Minister, as I mentioned to you during our meet and greet, it is the vision of our President, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, to see we go back to the glory years of strong partnership between Tanzania and Japan by working with you in the areas where you are known the best in the world. For example, when it comes to technology, experience in building state-of-the-art infrastructure, Japan is the best place to go and get such services. So it's the vision of our President, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, that we expedite and strengthen the bilateral partnership between our two countries. So I would like to reiterate and assure you, Honorable Deputy Minister and the delegation from Japan, that in Tanzania, we stand ready to work days and nights to make sure we go back to the glory days of Kajima, Konoike. When we were growing up, it was like these were household names then. And we have better reasons to make sure we create an enabling environment so that we can see more Japanese contractors, Japanese companies coming to Tanzania to work with us to build a very promising future of our country, which is growing very rapidly economically. Some of the current bilateral assistance programs include the ongoing implementation of the Dar es Salaam Urban Transport Master Plan, which began in 2018 and will conclude in 2040. During the implementation of the master plan, the Japanese government, through JICA, financed the design of the bus rapid transport infrastructure and other projects aimed at alleviating congestion in Dar es Salaam. Currently, we are looking for friends and partners around the world to see how we can decongest our big cities in a smart way. In a smart way, meaning it's not only the matter of erecting concrete, but we have to make sure we develop our cities in a way that also use the best available technology in environmentally friendly manner. So that's what we mean by smart cities. So currently, even yesterday I was in Dodoma. We are working days and nights to decongest Dodoma by making sure all the roads which enter the city from different corners of our country are widened so that mobility of people and the time taken is shortened. But we have many other big cities. That's Dodoma only. We are looking for partnerships to decongest Dar es Salaam itself, our largest city and the commercial hub of our country, by decreasing the time taken of movement of people, goods, and services. By doing so, we are also promoting economic growth as well as business. So I hope one of the areas which we can explore together is how we can have pillars as areas of cooperation of decongesting our cities, especially Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, Mbeya, Arusha, as well as Dodoma, to begin with. Ladies and gentlemen, efficient infrastructure is necessary for any country to compete effectively in today's global economy. On January 8th this year, Mr. Konosuke Kokuba, the State Minister of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism of Japan, visited Dar es Salaam, where myself and my colleagues in the government, we held bilateral meetings with him. In recognizing the infrastructure demand and economic growth potential in Tanzania, we, on both sides, confirmed our commitment to cooperating on infrastructure development here in our country. Today's Tanzania-Japan Quality Infrastructure Dialogue is a continuation of matters arising from the meeting which took place in this room in January this year. And like I said, this is meant to expedite the directives of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. So I would like to thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister and distinguished delegation from Japan, for another round of engagement so that the matters we discuss and agree do not follow through. I would like to thank you and continue to ask you that we should keep up this good work of meeting in intervals without much time in between, so that we make sure all the things that we agree upon, we work together to implement them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tanzanian government, through its ruling party manifesto, the CCM manifesto, and the 5-year development plan, which is our phase 3 of the 5-year development plan, has highlighted strategic projects, especially infrastructure, that open up economic opportunities for our nation and to connect neighboring countries. These strategic projects are key to economic competitiveness in the region. In this regard, I would like to request that JIDA and the Japanese government to kindly consider financing our government to advance national and regional economic development in the East African community as well as in the SADC community. Like I mentioned, the scope of work is enormous. We can work together to decongest cities. We can work together to rehabilitate some of the road networks, the trunk roads which you helped us build during the Kajima and Konoike time. Some of those roads are out of time. They need to be rehabilitated. And we can work with you in partnership with our twin ministry, the Ministry of Transport, Honorable David Kienzile is here, to develop a transport master plan where the development and construction of roads, bridges, airports, railways are all contained under one master plan. We have embarked on that journey, but we are looking for very dear friends like Japanese government to help us on the financing side. So if this can be one of the takeaways, we'll be most grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania has become a preferred investment destination for many foreign investors, including Japanese companies. The reasons for choosing Tanzania include the following reasons. Our country has economic stability supported by sound policies which have fostered strong macroeconomic performance and stability for over many decades. Tanzania is a peaceful and stable country with a friendly business environment backed by favorable investment policies and legislation. Our country has a geographical comparative advantage. The location of our country makes it a natural regional business hub. You come to Tanzania, you establish your business here, and then you are assured of our national market, the market within, the market in the East African community where we are a proud founder and member, as well as the market of SADC where we are one of the founders and proud members. So by making Tanzania a regional business hub, you have connected with Africa. There is a readily available semi-skilled and skilled labor force. And not the least, Tanzania numerous investment opportunities in infrastructure development and other sectors. Like I pointed out, we are ready to work bilaterally with the government of Japan to look at the suitable working environment for Japanese contractors. For example, if we work together to develop a transport master plan, by doing so, we would establish the scope of work, which region and how much is needed, and then through your support, we can receive financing from Japan, and then we go to the design and build model where Japanese contractors get the cake of the work. We stand ready to travel that journey if you find it suitable for both parties, Tanzania and Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to reiterate the importance of contribution from our brothers and sisters from Japan, including the distinguished Japanese delegation in this room, to the development of the bilateral relationship between Tanzania and Japan. This is a strong relationship, not just between our two governments, but also between private sectors of both countries. And I'm very pleased that in this room, we have our colleagues from Tanzania's private sector, as well as Japan private sector. Also, let me take this opportunity to welcome and remind our distinguished brothers and sisters from Japan that you are already in Dar es Salaam. There are a lot of extra curricular activities which you will find enjoyable to do. We have a national museum which is only a block or 2 blocks away from here. But if you can spare a few days, you can go to Zanzibar and relax after the hard work of networking here and engaging on the future of our partnerships. But also you can fly from here to different directions in the country to look at our attractive national parks and many, many attractive destinations in our country. Let me once again thank you all for inviting me to open this dialogue. And now I have the honor of declaring the Tanzania-Japan Quality Infrastructure Dialogue officially opened. Ohayo gozaimasu, origato gozaimashita. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think Balozi Luvanda is looking at you and thinking your Japanese passes. Safi kabisa. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, after that fantastic speech by the guest of honor, we wish for you to witness the soft launching of land for Japan investors at Kamal Industries. And so, may I please request for the plaque to be brought here towards this point. And as it introduced, Mr. Samir, please join us out front. And we're going to request our Excellency's High Commissioner, Mr. Baraka Luvanda,